Good evening, cowboys, cowgirls, and outlaws. Welcome to the Slick Sixguns Network. I'm your host, Slick Sixguns, and I'm here to provide education, tips, and community for those interested in the Western shooting sports. If you're interested in stuff like that, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that notifications bell so you don't miss anything. Now let's pack our wagons and see what's being discovered out west. Good morning, cowboys, cowgirls, and outlaws. Welcome to the Slick Sixguns Network Facebook page. I am tuning in and I am going to be talking to you about some pretty interesting subjects that we are going to cover in this live stream. So thank you for tuning in, and by all means, this is coffee with Slick Sixguns, so make sure you have a cup of whatever it is that you're planning on drinking during this episode, because I know I am. Nothing like a good cup of coffee in the morning and conversation, let me tell you. So, by all means, two things I'm going to say about this. First is, make sure that you guys let me know what you guys are drinking in the comments section. I would love to hear where you're watching from also as well. And I also want to let you guys know, if you're interested in being a sponsor of any of these episodes, by all means, go to the description section and you can buy me a coffee and maybe you could be a sponsor. And I will definitely look forward to seeing that. And if you want to become a patron as well, and you want to provide more donations to this channel, because this channel is crowdfunded, you guys can go ahead and do that as well. It's all in the description. I'll see you there. Thank you very much, and it wouldn't be possible without viewers like you. Alright, so what am I going to be talking about today? Well, I am going to be talking about my Uberti Winchester 1873, but I am going to be talking about my 357 Magnum variant. This is not my 45 Colt, which I had on the show earlier. You guys can always go back and watch that if you want, but I am going to be covering my 357 variant because there are some differences, both to the stock difference as well as the modification difference. But I am going to be talking about, I'm going to be showing you the rifle so you can see the different things that it has on it. I'll be telling you why I bought it, what I currently use it for, how much I paid for it, as well as my opinion of the rifle. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. I went ahead and cleared this rifle off camera for you, but it is clear so that everybody can feel safe. Anyway, let's go ahead and show you the different pieces, shall we? Alright, we're going down to the butt of the rifle. Excuse me. You guys can see that it is a flat butt plate here. Some of you call that a shotgun butt plate, that's fine. You know, or a recoil pad, whatever you want to call it. It is rubber back here. Now, I will say this rifle has not been bought by me originally. I did not do some of these modifications to it, and so by all means, do not take this as a stock 100% Uberti. So, this is a rifle that has been modified by both its previous owner and me. So, it is a flat shotgun butt plate here. The wood on it may or may not be original, but it's still pretty. It's not a pistol. It's not a pistol grip from what I've seen, and it is just very, very nice, I will say. You know, it's got a nice clean varnish to it. Going down to the tang, you're going to see it's also got a marbles tang sight here. Color case hardened receiver, color case hardened hammer, blue trigger. Excuse me, color case hardened trigger. A color case hardened hammer. A blued dust cover, just like the other one. And you're going to see that it has a octagonal barrel with the stock front sight. The fore end is the same type of wood as the stock. And you have the what looks to be a blued fore end cap. And I still have the buckhorn rear sights on this thing. We'll talk a little bit about the modifications here in a second, and that also gets into why I bought it as well. So, let's talk a little bit about the modifications, if you will. Okay, so the first modification I did to this thing was the lever wrap here. For those of you that don't know what a lever wrap is, it basically kind of helps keep your fingers a little bit more protected. It also allows you to have a steadier grip on the rifle when it comes to levering, and so that you can essentially, what I like to do is I like to wrap my pinky around it so that I can get a better grip, and it allows for that grip to happen. You know, and obviously protect your fingers as well. I think I already told you that. So that is something that I have changed. Pretty easy modification to do. You also have the Marbles tang sight on here, which once again, as I told you in a previous video, you're not only going to have to buy the tang sight, but you are also going to have to actually drill and tap the tang on one portion of it. That may have changed. Mind you, I got this rifle a little while ago. Uberti may have changed where they put a screw up there to drill and have the tang drilled and tapped to accept a tang sight. But this one did not, and I had to change that, so therefore I had to drill and tap it, and I had to install it. That took a little bit of time, but it's got a Marbles tang sight there, and it does have the stock buckhorn sights in there. So you can use either or on this rifle. The trigger has not been changed out. This is a stock trigger. You're going to see that it has a short stroke kit in there. It's not the standard lifter, if you will. So you are going to see that it has a different short stroke kit. I did not modify anything with the lever safety, so that's something that I have yet to do on this. The lifter, or the elevator, is the standard elevator that comes with it. I did not change that. And then obviously I have replaced the mainspring for the hammer, and I've done a little bit of polishing on the inside. So I have done a little bit of changes to this rifle. The rifle itself is shorter than my other 1873, and it is in a different caliber. So with that being said, I just want to let you guys know that these are two different rifles that I'm talking about. So you're going to have to go back and watch the previous one. You know, it is the same type of model. However, the specifications are slightly different and the modifications are slightly different. Okay. This rifle is pretty nice. I like it. I'll go ahead and shut up and show it to you again, so you guys can just enjoy the look of it. Yes, I know that some people are going to say that the loading gate is on the wrong side. It is not, I assure you. It's because the way the camera is facing. It's kind of the mirror effect that you get when you look into a mirror and you read that there is something written backwards. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and talk to you about why I got this rifle. Well, first let's talk about how much I paid for it. So the first thing is that, mind you, I did buy this a while ago, and I did buy it in a private trade, a private sale, so therefore the price may be not really reflective of MSRP. Well, it's not going to be reflective of MSRP anyway, but even MSRP back then. Once again, I think that rifles of this type have gone up, much like any of the other rifles that you're going to see on the market today. They've gone up in price, value, whatever you want to call it, you know, compared to what they were a couple years ago or several years ago. And I bought this back in 2018, so it's a bit older, but had it for a while, and I paid a decent price for it at the time, and obviously the modifications probably upped the price a little bit more, so I was willing to do it. So I paid about $900 for this rifle. And you know, to me that was a decent price. For the rest of you, that might not be, but I think that's pretty decent considering that you're seeing a lot of them go for $1,500 or more right now. So I bought it back when they were a little cheaper, so it works out for me. The reason why I got it is I actually got this as my wife's gun. She shoots competitively with me, and she wanted to get a rifle that was in the .357 caliber. and therefore that is why I got this rifle for her, because she was interested in shooting and wanted to join me in competition, and so I recommended to her that she get this type of rifle, and I recommended that she get a certain type of caliber, and she found out that she actually liked the balance of this rifle because she tried it before she bought it, and she tried a bunch of different other rifles before she bought it, so she is actually pretty content with the 1873 variant, you know, in the barrel length and all that. So with the caliber, it doesn't affect her as much, so, you know, not a whole lot of felt recoil anyway because the rifle's heavier, but, you know, the 357 caliber works for her. And also you can load 38 into this as well, as long as you adjust for the overall length, because I've seen that as well, where, you know, people say that you can load 38s into these, but, you know, because of the way that the rifle is designed, it may cause the rifle to jam. Let me know in the comment section if you have had that experience with these types of rifles sometimes, in which you're just going to have to adjust the overall length so that it reaches the 357 Magnum length so that it doesn't cause the jam. You know, that's to each their own, their preference, however they want to do it, but that's how I do it. That's how I do the reloads for her, so that she only has one type of ammunition, even though most 38s do accommodate, or most 357s accommodate 38s as well. She has pistols that are in 357 and 38, so therefore it really doesn't matter. So she could shoot 357 Magnum or 38, but I load it down to the 38 specifications, and I make sure that the 38 casings are at the overall length of the 357. That's a lot of technical jargon for you. I hope you all were staying tuned to that. I didn't mean to ramble on. But anyway, that is why I got it. And so yes, this rifle has seen some heavy use. You know, so it has been shot multiple times. It's been reliable. It has had modifications done to it. It has been worked. It is, for all intents and purposes, my wife's race gun. So therefore, that's why she wanted to buy it, so she would be more competitive and have fun doing so. Mind you, she's not really into the competitive side. That doesn't matter to her. But, you know, if she wanted to, she could try and practice and do better, right? You know, we all could. Anyway, so that is why we ended up getting this. Let me talk to you about my opinion of this rifle. Once again, you know, this is my opinion of this particular rifle. This is not a comprehensive review, so I just want to go ahead and let you guys know that. I want to say that first off, like the other 1873 made by Uberti that I have, the fit and finish is relatively good. I'm not really a super huge fan of the wood. As far as the caliber is concerned, I'm not really a fan of the 357, so therefore this is a rifle that I wouldn't necessarily prefer to shoot. I would rather shoot a 44 or a 45 just because I like the way that the round fits into it. I think that it is a little bit less finicky than dealing with 357-38 styles. And also it allows for actually a lighter rifle, in my opinion, because there's less steel involved to make things smaller. So I think that's kind of something that appeals to me, is, you know, as far as the bigger calibers are concerned. So I'm not really a huge fan of the caliber, but I know that it is a popular caliber. So that being said, the buttstock to me is actually better in this configuration than a crescent, so I kind of like that. I wish that my other gun kind of came with a shotgun buttstock here. Obviously I can always change that, but I just haven't. So, you know, that's something that I think is neat. So I do like that about this rifle. I do like the fact that I was able to modify it. I do like the fact that it's a little bit shorter, but it's still able to take the 10 rounds that are required. So therefore, I think this rifle overall is a little bit more handier than my longer variant. It does feel a little heavier, to be honest with you. And just because of the way that the button stock is, the foreend's a little bit heavier, but it is shorter, so therefore it's a little bit more maneuverable. So once again, you got to trade off, but I do like that. So I'd say this configuration overall, if you just took this, through all the modifications I had on my previous rifle, into this style rifle, but changed the caliber to 44 or 45, I'd say this is, I'd be happy 100%. I wouldn't have a single darn thing to complain about. So there you go. That is my opinion of my 357. Let me know in the comments section what you think about your Uberti 1873 and 357 if you have one. I would love to hear. All right. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you in the next episode. Description section is a link to our Patreon account if you feel like supporting us. Don't forget to buy me a coffee as well. It's cowgirls and cowboys. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did. And if you're looking forward to the next video, I'll see you on down the trail. Have a good one.